love about Tron is every single thing. I'm a Tron super fan. I went to that movie in 1982. I was 11, turning 12, and I fell in love. I love the story. I love the technology. I love the creativity. I love Jeff Bridges. So for me, Tron is like it's like Star Wars. It's like Blade Runner. It's one of those films that just lives forever inside me, and I'm so proud to be here with Joachim, a part of a third Tron in 42 years or something. Yeah, pretty cool. 43 years, I guess.
Joachim, what new elements did you want to bring to Tron Ares?
I think that the original film and also Kosinski's legacy that came out 50 years are both masterpieces. And, you know, coming on as to tell the next chapter in the Tron saga, it was important for me to keep some of that lore and the mythology, obviously, and elements, and I was so happy when it was actually Jared, you came up with like those scenes back on the original Tron grid in our film now, and like to be able to go back there and go back in time. And for everyone that works on the movie, we're all Tron lovers, you know, and to be able to go back there and relive it together with Jeff Bridges, you know, is some of the most fun I ever had and in my career, honestly. So it's that balance, you know. So what do we keep? Where do we go to the next level? Because it's also important as a filmmaker to create something original and move on. But I think like hopefully we have struck like a balance where the fans feel that they get served some of their beloved Tron, and at the same time, you know, it's a new chapter.
Awesome. Jared, what was your experience like producing this project? And in terms of your performance, how did you build Ares into a believable character and make it your own?
The best thing about producing the project was being able to have a voice. And I think it came in handy being such a Tron fan. I was able to selfishly push and fight and, you know, kick and yell and scream and make sure that, you know, something like the 80s grid stayed intact. First of all, my excuse just to be back inside that 80s film, really a childhood dream. But I also thought it'd be as satisfying, not just for me, but for other fans of the franchise. So that kind of worked out well, that I was such a big fan of Tron in general and was able to kind of have a voice inside the room. And then just to do what, I always feel like my job is just to try to help make a better movie in whatever capacity that I can. There's nothing too small, no task too small or too big. Sometimes they try to get involved with, but also to recognize great talent like Joachim, and to support Joachim, and to, you know, sometimes the best thing you can do is to get out of the way, even if you disagree, because guess what? You can be wrong, and you have to trust the people that you work with, and that was, you know, that's not always an easy thing for creative people to do, but it's an essential thing for creative people to do, especially when you collaborate. And I'm glad that I had a chance to do that here with Joachim. And, you know, it was a great big group of people who really have a lot of love for the history of this film, for the mythology. So, you know, there was a lot of synergy, and it really just kind of a beautiful experience overall.
What about this film will resonate most with audiences, and why does it need to be seen on the biggest screen possible?
Ooh. Because it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
No, I think it's like, if there's ever was a film that should be experienced on the big screen, it's Tron Ares. Even like a Tron movie, I would say, because it's such an immersive concept, and watching it in the cinema, in the proper cinema, and like, you know, or even in an IMAX, is such a treat, and not to sound pretentious or anything, but I really feel that my art form is cinema, and that's one of the reasons why I keep doing these kind of movies, because it has such a big chance of seeing the insides of a theater, knock on wood, you know, and you get to paint on the big canvas, like, you know, the kind of movies that I grew up with, where I saw the movies that made me want to be a filmmaker in the first place. So I think, like, and also with the sound and the music, the Nine Inch Nails score, and to have it like really pumping and hearing it, and in a social setting, and you feel it's a physical thing, you know, in the theater, the bass, everything moves through you, and yeah, this is a movie for the big screen.